Hello, YouTube. Welcome to session zero point 0.3 of the Nalawale Kai Kohola campaign. This is John. Um, why don't you give a quick introduction to your character? Um, not too much of the backstory, just like describe him a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
My character is a paladin, pretty badass. Uh, Personality goes for I want to say rough and tumble. Always does what he feels is right, not what is necessarily right. Uh, Goes by his own moral compass.
Okay. What's he look like?
Uh, 6 feet. Uh, Nice deep blue eyes. Red hair.
Cool. All right. So you look around you. Um, the sun's beating down directly overhead. Um, you're standing in the middle of a forest. Um, now, the area that you live in is a tropical climate, um, so there's not really seasons so much. Um, but as you look around you, you notice that the entire forest is dead or dying. There's the trees are leafless for the most part. Um, the grass underfoot is yellow and browning. Um, Shrubs, small trees around you are all basically just limb bare. Um, you don't hear anything. Um, no animals, no wind rushing through. What do you do?
Rise to my feet groggily as I look around, surveying the area. Uh, I take a few stumbling steps forward. I catch myself back on my knees. I can feel the grass under me just break as I brace with my hands. As I rise again, I look around. I see no one near me. I pick up my weapon and I start moving forward.
All right. I meant to ask you this before we started recording, but what's your armor class and passive perception modifier?
Armor class is 16/18.
Okay.
And what was the other one?
Your passive perception, it's at the bottom of your abilities.
11.
Okay. All right, so I need you to, as you're walking through the woods, um, you pass by a brush that it just looks like a dead shrub. As you pass by it, one of the branches lashes out at your legs. Make a reflex dexterity savings throw.
3.
Total? Did you add in your savings throw modifier?
Oh, shit. No, 5.
Okay, 5 total. Okay. So you trip and fall to the ground. As you start getting up, The the shrub standing beside you starts to take on a, a slightly humanoid shape. It coalesces into this headless figure with just arms and legs, like the body of a man, though very small and headless. And it starts coming towards you as you're getting up. So roll initiative.
Five.
All right. Okay. So this thing now standing over you lashes out at you with its claws. And misses. So then as you're pushing yourself up, you look ahead of you as well. As you dodge out of the way of the attack, you look ahead of you and you see another bush forming as your turn comes. Go ahead.
I raise my weapon as I start to charge at the now forming bush.
Okay. So there's one standing pretty much right over you that just tried to attack you. That's fully formed, and then there's the other one that I just mentioned. If you run away from the one that's over you right now, it's going to get an opportunity attack against you, where it gets a chance to hit you. So you can stand and fight this one, or you can go after the other one.
Okay, I'll retract that and stand and fight the current enemy.
Okay.
I rolled a 9.
All right, are you leaving your shield where it is, or are you going hammer and shield?
No, I'd be going two-handed.
Okay.
So leaving the shield. So I rolled an 11.
To hit?
Yes.
Okay. So as you're standing and kind of swinging the hammer in an upward motion, you kind of just catch the very tip of its chest, and a little piece of twig comes flying off it, but doesn't seem to be phased. It reels back and then springs forward at you again, and you manage to sidestep it. Now the other one is fully formed and it starts lumbering towards you. It's not quite going to get close enough to you this round. We'll go back to your turn.
I reposition myself as I stand looking at the beast that I've just winged. I rolled a 13.
13 will hit. So now roll damage.
Eight damage.
8 damage. All right. Describe how your hammer destroys this thing.
I move forward in a very proficient manner as I swing my hammer from my shoulder aimed downwards, crushing where its head would be and following through all the way down to the ground.
Awesome. All right. Now this other one is about 5 feet, like behind you to your right, and it's coming to try and get at you as you're swinging down. Die. All right. I definitely hit that time. So you're going to take 3 damage. as its claws rake across the back of your head.
I feel it. As I feel the blood somewhat trickle from the back of my head, I know where my enemy is. I whirl around to make a swifter attack. I throw a roll to 12.
You rolled a 12. Did you add your attack bonus?
Yes.
Okay. Then as you swing back, it just jumps back just in time. It manages to not get hit by it. And then silently, without any ability to make noise or anything, comes back at you with an overhand claw and completely misses. And now it's your turn.
Seeing an opening that the monster missed, I swing at a sideways angle for a 17.
That will hit.
For a 12 damage.
All right. You also destroy this one. How does that happen? Go ahead and describe you destroying this one.
From it. In one gigantic...
You totally cut out. You cut out. Can you start over? Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. As I swing and connect with the monster, I can see all of its entrails just explode out as my hammer runs straight through it.
Awesome. All right. And that seems to be the end of what you noticed.
Right. I'm sorry, can I just real fast? I just gotta run. I'll be 2 seconds. Sorry about that.
Yep. Right. So after you destroy that last creature, I'm assuming you're going to continue on. Right?
Yeah, most definitely. After destroying the last creature, I slump on my weapon with the bottom of it in the ground just to support my weight. I walk over and collect my shield, and then start moving forward again, knowing that the only way I can go is north, just trying to find my way home.
Okay. So as you start moving forward, with the moon high overhead, you start hearing some creaking, sounds of twigs snapping, rustling around you. And you notice that the entire forest is slowly starting to unravel and coalesce into similar shapes as the last two things that you just had that fight with. Very quickly, you find yourself surrounded by the entire forest closing in on you. You do a decent job of defending yourself for a few seconds, but you're completely overwhelmed. As you fall down on your back and just get completely um, overwhelmed and crushed by the immense weight of these monsters, you feel one of their um, wooden fingers slowly start sinking into your neck. Um, then sorry. All right. So as these fingers start sinking into your neck, you hear, "Are you alive? Hey, hey!" So, and now you're laying on your back. Your eyes are closed. You don't feel any pressure on you, um, but you have this like dull sensation in the side of your neck, um, where something is repeatedly jabbing you. Um, you open your eyes, um, notice the sun is just starting to break over the horizon. And you see, first you look over at where the sensation's coming from, and you just see this long wooden pole. As your eyes follow up it and focus a little bit, you see a young boy who's filthy, covered in dirt. He's got light brown hair that's all ruffled and messed up. Um, and he's as your head turns towards him, he pulls the pole away from him and says, "Oh, you're alive. Good. Are you a knight?" And he looks at you.
I ask who he is and where's he from.
"Oh, my name's Nawe. I'm from Coconut Hollow, just outside the forest. What are you doing sleeping on the ground?"
I shake my head as I rise to my feet. I look at the boy and ask if he's seen anything weird out of the
Uh,
ordinary.
just you. Are you a knight?
I look at the boy and just nod accordingly as I somewhat listen to what he say, but more pay attention to the pain that's in my neck.
Um, well, as you focus on it, you feel, and you notice that there's nothing there. Um, it
Yeah,
was
just
just
lingering.
well, even it was actually just from the boy poking you with the stick, and you
Okay.
realize that you were just dreaming.
I look at the boy and I ask him, "Can you take me to the nearest village?"
"Oh yeah, sure. Follow me." And he says, "What's your name?"
My name's Deacon Frost. I'm a paladin.
"Wow. I come out here in the forest and train every morning before dawn. I'm going to be a knight someday too."
No, are you any good? What's your primary focus?
And he pulls a spear up from the ground and says this, and he shows it and holds it up, and you realize that that's what he was poking. He was poking you with the blunt end of the spear. Um, but
That's a
it's crude actually. It's a rock tip spear. It basically what it actually is like a broken a tree branch that fell off the ground, and he like rope tied uh, a stone spear tip to it. He's really young. You wouldn't imagine he's more than 8 years old.
I look at the weapon, take it from him and hold it, and then I give it back. That's a fine weapon, lad. You should be a good warrior someday.
And he kind of smiles and looks down. He says, hopefully. Um, well, yes, let's go. Let's go. Um, so you guys start heading left of Shiran. Now, direction here is a little weird because of the way that the sun and moon orbit will kind of just pendulum around each other.
Mhm.
Um, so directions defined by the where the sun breaks the horizon is north, um, and the sun's called Shiran in this area, and Kern's the moon. So, like, you start heading, it's basically west, um, but it's left of Shiran would be the terminology for it. Um, anyway, so yeah, you start heading towards what you'd imagine would be the town Coconut Hollow that the boy was telling you about. Um, and the kids kind of like running around you, like asking you a bunch of questions about what it's like being a knight and if you had any cool stories or anything for him.
Well, there was one story that comes to mind is when me and my group, my fellow soldiers, we were stranded behind enemy lines. It was just me and 5 other brave souls. Each of us outnumbered at least 5 to 1, but we fought hard. We fought back, and we held the enemy until reinforcements came in. They were tough, but we were just better, more equipped, better trained.
Wow. He's like enthralled by you. So as you're walking back to the town, you notice that the forest is lush green as it always, you'd imagine as it always is. There's something a little out of the ordinary is that it's pretty quiet. It's right around daybreak now. Um, you don't hear really anything besides the boy as you're walking. Um, so uh, now the boy's telling you about um, one of the bigger boys in the village and what kind of um, how he's like a bully or whatever. And then as right in the middle of the sentence, he kind of, ew, did you fart? Um, and you kind of get you're taken aback by it. You think it's funny, but then you realize there is a rather strange smell.
I sniff around in the air, looking for any signs of where it could be coming from. I can't see anything, but there's something definitely amiss. I look to the little boy and ask, "Is that smell common around here?"
Not really. My my neighbor was really old and he died, and it took us a couple days to find him in the house. And it smells kind of like that.
I look at the little boy and tell him, "You should go find some of the adults, some soldiers, or anything that you can. Bring them back here. I'm gonna go follow that scent, see where it leads."
Uh, okay. If you if nothing happens, the town's this way. And he points and he says, "Just go back there if you're done before I get back." and then he runs off. He takes it very seriously and runs off towards the town. So you can't offhand. I mean, your passive perception's pretty low, so you can't actually pinpoint where the smell is coming from.
Mhm.
But you do have an ability that might help with this.
Too dark. I'd like to use divine sense.
Yeah. All right.
Couldn't think of said name.
So, all right. So you want to describe how you tap into that?
I place my hammer down, handle first, into the ground, and place my hands on top of the hammerhead. I close my eyes, focus my senses, trying to take in everything around me. I pray, hoping for an answer from the divine.
All right. And as once you hit that focus point in your mind, you immediately get a pinpoint on where that odor is coming from. Okay. So you notice that it's moving towards you from like dense tree cover, but you can definitely make out where it's coming from now. And it seems to be just um, one undead creature, though you're not sure exactly what it is.
I look over the creature and yell to him, "Foul beast, reveal yourself. Tell me what you want in this place."
Uh, the only response you get is a low moan, and it comes shambling out of the woods. Um, and you now, what marks you actually is that the smell was strong enough to suggest some state of decay, but this body looks fresh almost. Um, you have a keen mind, right?
I know I do. I just can't see it.
It'd be on your features and traits, I think. But that's a feat you took, right?
Oh, sorry, say that again.
That's the feat you took, was keen mind.
I thought I did. I just don't see it here.
You don't see it in your features and traits section.
No.
What do you have there?
Military rank.
It'll probably
Lay
be one
on.
of the last things you have.
Yeah, no. Last two things will lay on hands and military rank.
Oh, then start from the top.
Uh, always know north. Always know time of day. Accurate recall of anything up to a month.
Okay, so those three things are keen mind. Okay.
Oh, derp.
All right. So the body that you're looking at is wearing the same clothes as the figure you saw last night. Um, not the one that spoke to you, but his victim. And it shambles towards you. It doesn't seem to be able to communicate at all. So I'm going to have you roll initiative again.
$14.
All right. So you are going to get to act first.
$3.
To hit?
Yes.
You missed. So I guess you just swing way too early. The thing doesn't react at all to the blow, and you just manage to not hit it. It just as you swing down, it just lurches towards you, making basically a full bodied attack on you. 13 misses. So are you using your hammer two-handed again, or do you have your shield?
Yeah, two-handed still.
Okay, cool. So it missed, or kind of just didn't really. You kind of bumped into you, but didn't actually do anything. And it's your turn.
20.
20. All right, that is a critical hit. So what you're gonna do is take your max damage and then roll the die again, and we'll add that to the max damage. So you're gonna make a damage roll, and then you're gonna add your max damage to it.
So my roll was a 4.
Add it with your 2 strength bonus.
Oh yeah, 6.
Okay, and then you roll in a d10, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 18 damage. All right, so so you didn't completely cripple the thing, but you did a good amount of damage. You want to describe that?
Yes. So I didn't kill it. I just
Right.
crippled
Yeah.
it.
Well, I wouldn't even say it was a critical hit, but like you didn't actually kill it. So it was probably like a really good body shot. Is probably the
Okay.
best one.
As the creature lumbered forward towards me again, I re-grabbed my hammer and then swung around, moving my body around the creature while slamming my hammer into it as it just missed me.
All right. You know for a fact that you shattered pretty much one entire half of its rib cage. With that motion, you can kind of see it not really standing up completely straight anymore. It lurches around and lunges at you again, for 14, and I guess not being able to compensate for the loss of mobility in that side of its body, it reaches out and misses you, and you get another turn.
Six.
6 to hit.
Yep.
All right, so you dodge back from that attack and kind of swing a little wide, as you attack. It continues towards you, this time connecting, doing 6 damage. Now, the damage you took in the previous encounter actually doesn't count. So
Oh, okay.
you're at full. So you just take the 6 damage from its claws kind of sinking into you. It snaps at you, but doesn't quite get its teeth around you, and you can just smell decay coming out of it as it gets near your face.
Mm.
Okay, and it's your turn.
11.
Total,
Yeah.
you hit.
And 8 for damage.
8 for damage. All right. Um, okay. Now you can tell this thing's on its last um, leg. It's basically got like one working arm now, and it's kind of still stumbling, but it comes at you again, uh, and just misses. So go ahead.
19.
19 will hit, and you're well. Yeah, roll the damage.
10 damage.
All right. Crush that thing's head.
As the undead creature moves towards me, I can feel its breath on me. I push it back with the blunt end of my hammer, and then as it stumbles back, it falls to the ground in a sitting position. I run forward and I swing with all my might towards its head, connecting, breaking it off.
All right. So your divine sense is still kicking in a little, and you notice that there doesn't seem to be any more um, within your range, at least. So what do you do?
Think back to the child and follows directions towards the town.
All right. Cool. Just leaving the body there. That's fine. Okay, so as you approach the town, it's pretty much uh, a very small village, actually. Most of the houses are huts made out of wood with like thatched roof. Um, Quite a few of them are up on stilts with stairs leading up to them. Um, there's a low wooden gate um, that doesn't seem to be very effective enough to keep a large scale assault out, but you'd imagine that this village probably doesn't worry too much about um, being attacked, at least from this side. Um, there is a guard standing out by the gate, though, as you approach.
I walk towards the guard, looking him up and down, seeing how he measures up. I ask him where the town leaders are, or the elders, or anyone in charge. I need to speak with them urgently.
He looks you over a little. Um, he's a he's a tall guy, tan skin. He has like a wooden like a bone chest plate draped over his shoulders, covering his chest. Um, and he stands with a spear. He says, Mayor inside. Big, long cabin. Why you need him?
I look at the soldier and I say, there's undead near this village.
Ha! 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 This, sir, what are you speak of?
I look at him, somewhat astonished that he would laugh, and tell him about the adventure that was just occurred in the forest and how there was an undead creature out there, and that we need people, at least a few soldiers, to come out and check the surrounding area.
He sees your seeing your grave expression. He kind of he calms down a little. He says, "Did Nawe get to you? That boy is known for putting stories in people."
I look more intently at him, grab him by the top part of his armor, and get very close. I put my face almost directly in front of his, and a gruff voice expressed that we need to get people out there.
He says, "Go see Captain. He is in big, big uh, cabin, not long cabin, the big one over there." And he points. Says, "I will watch the gate."
I slightly push the guard as I leave him be, not looking back. He annoyed me too much.
You hear him spit. You hear him spit behind you.
I go into the cabin that he showed me. Well, sorry, let me rephrase that. I knock on the outside of the cabin and yell in to see if anyone's inside.
Come in!
After hearing the brutish noise, I walk inside. I look at the person sitting down.
He nods.
I explain that there was an undead creature outside, close to the encampment, and that we need to go back and look for more of them.
He he looks up at you and asks again, did Nawe put you up to this? That boy's troublesome."
I explain who I am and that I'm not one to be made of a fool by a child. I explain what my rank is and what my profession is, and how urgent the situation may be.
All right. Let's you and me go back to where you saw this thing and see what needs to be done. He he gets up. Uh, he's a very big man. Dark skin, bald, got a long coarse beard. Wears pretty nice armor. With a you can see some actual like badges of rank on him, which, judging by the size of the village, seems a little odd. But nothing that you recognize. And he gets up and grabs a a strong looking spear with an obsidian tip and says, "Show me."
Okay. I walk out of the hut, not seeing if he's following me, just hearing the sound of his footsteps behind me.
Yeah,
We
you
walk
actually
past the guard.
giving instructions behind you as you walk, but you're not really paying attention to him. He seems to be taking this a little more seriously than the gate guard did.
Oh, okay.
and you hear him actually call for another person to be put on the gate with him.
As we get back out to the body, I point to it and
see that there is nothing there.
I plead with him, telling him that in this area, this is where everything happened. This is where the body was.
Okay. You cut out. You still there? I just heard this is where the body was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I said, I looked up to him and exclaimed that this is where the body was. This is where the fight occurred.
Okay. He says, actually, you know what? Make a persuasion check. Sorry, that's in charisma.
All right. $19.
All right. So he feels that. Well, all right. So he seems to be taking you seriously. He starts looking around in the area and looking down, and points around and says, "Well, I can see something happened here. And where near where the body was, at least, there's a slight drag mark where the grass is bent down a little bit." And he points at it and says, "Look there. I can see that something is going on here." I don't know if it was undead, as you say. I feel I believe you, but I don't. We've never encountered anything like that before. If it's really something to worry about, we may not have the manpower to deal with it. Maybe you could go to Wahine for us, and I'll give you a letter for the soldiers at Wahine to send backup, if you wouldn't mind delivering the message.
I implore him that we should follow the track beforehand. We shouldn't leave any stone left unturned, and if someone did drag the body away, we have to find that person as soon as we can.
He says, "Look, son, I don't have any experience with the undead. We've never had any problems with them in the past. I don't know how to deal with them, and I don't know what we're getting ourselves into. I'd like to keep the village safe rather than leave it open for invasion. Um, I'm going. I want to go back and set up better patrols. We'll double up the posts, and I'm going to try to keep the place safe. But I need somebody to go into town, go into the city, and ask for some backup."
I look at the chief, and I tell him I will come back for the letter and I will go into town, but I have to check this first.
Be careful, son. And he starts wandering back towards town. Right. So I want you to make a survival check under wisdom.
17. Wait,
all right.
Yeah, 17.
Okay. So as you're looking around in the area, you see that um, where the captain had pointed at the ground actually is the only trace of anything happened. You don't see your footprints from the previous fight. You don't see much beyond where the creature first broke through the trees. But you don't see any signs of anyone being there after or your being there other than passing from where you were through. Um, Now you got a pretty good roll on it, so it's not like you're just not noticing something.
Yeah, it's just not there.
It well, it looks staged almost.
Yeah, can I use the divine sense again, or is that just a one-shot deal?
Shit, where's my book? Sorry, I should
Oh,
have had
sorry.
it ready. Let me grab it. It says you can use it 1 plus your charisma modifier times per day. So you can use it. What's your charisma modifier?
+3.
All right, so you can use it 3 more times before you rest. All right. So using it this time alerts you to the presence of undead. But unlike the last time you used it, you it seems to be coming from everywhere and nowhere. You can't really pinpoint it. You don't feel in danger. You just feel uncomfortable.
Mm.
Um,
Like someone's watching me.
yeah. But you don't feel threatened at all by it. The So I guess looking around you again, um, after not realizing it and just checking the area one more time for any more signs, you find um, where the creature first broke through the woods, where you first saw it coming from, a small vial um, with a dark red liquid in it. Um, it's very small. It's not like um, something. It looks like a keepsake almost. Um, on the stopper. Well, I'm assuming you pick it up, right? Or you just leave it?
Okay, yes, I walk over and notice the vial.
Okay, so as you inspect it, the stopper has a a rose um, etched into it. Um, the liquid, I mean, it looks like blood, like a small amount of blood. and it is attached, or I mean, it's attached on a broken leather chain or cord. Um, this rose symbol sparks something in you, but you can't seem to place it um, where you'd seen it before. Um, but that's really the only hint you have as to what maybe anything being there other than the trail itself.
I put the vial into my knapsack and begrudgingly walk back to the town. I pass the two guards on the outside standing by the door, nod to the first one that I met, but keep walking back to the hut so I can retrieve the letter.
Okay. He as you enter, he looks up and says, "Oh, good, you made it back. Good. Did you find anything?"
There was something weird, a small vial. I don't know what's inside, and I take the vial out and I show it to him.
He looks it over. Kind of as he sees it, he looks for the briefest second. You see recognition in his eyes, and then he quickly masks himself. And takes it and says, "This is very strange." And he puts it down. Oh, or he says he hands it back to you. Um, I'm not sure if that'll be any help. And then so he looks down, looks back up, and says, "Anyway, I have this letter here. You're to give it to um, Lieutenant Biggs in Wahine. Um, it's a requisition for reinforcements so that we can look into this. Um, I appreciate your help with this, and I hope that nothing bad comes of it."
I look at him and ask if he believes anyone in town would know anything about the insignia or the vial itself, as I take the letter and place it in my bag.
All right. He says that he doesn't know um, much other than the the mayor's daughter used to wear this vial. Um, she disappeared years ago. Um, I don't know. The liquid is a mixture of water and crushed garnet that one of the wizards from Kula made for her as a birthday gift when she was 5.
Do you have any idea what the relevance of it is, or was it just a keepsake? Was it anything special?
I don't know. As far as I knew, it was just a trinket, just a gift for a small child. Um, but she's been gone for years now. I don't know how this would have ended up there.
Interesting. Well, thank you for your help. I will deliver this letter and try to get your reinforcements here as quickly as possible.
Good. The journey shouldn't take you more than a day. Do you have any experience riding? We can provide a mount for you if you need it.
I will gladly accept your offer.
Cool. So he sends you out to the stables with another letter, giving you permission to take one of the horses. Um, Now, I said horses, but I didn't actually mean horses. It's at they're actually large,
Bears.
no, like lizards
Oh, okay.
almost. Um, they do look kind of equine, but they're definitely uh, reptilian. But they're pretty common mounts for the area. It's
Mm,
not anything unusual to you. Um,
yeah.
their legs aren't quite as long as horses. They don't have like the the capacity for speed that horses do, but they walk at a faster pace than horses would, and
Mm.
they tire less easily. Um, so yeah, so you get set up with one um, with dark green scales um, and golden eyes. Um, the stable boy uh, gets the bridle set up for you. Um, Brings the creature over and says, "Here you go, sir."
The leash from the boy, and I nod, thanking him for his help. I I mount my ride,
He kind of
and
coughs a little bit and holds his hand up to you.
I reach in my pocket and take out what would be considered it's weird, a couple of bronze pieces.
Okay.
And
So
yeah, well,
the
how's the
all right. So the currency here is obsidian. I think in Alex's session, I had a pound being worth 1 gold, but that seems a little heavy for me, so I'm kind of retconning it. Where a pound, like a big pound rock of obsidian, is worth 10 gold. Um, so the cheapest denomination of it would be chips of obsidian, which are equal to a tenth of a gold
okay,
piece. So a copper. So that'd be your lowest denomination would be a chip
okay. Uh,
or a
I
shard. I'm sorry, a shard. Chips are silver. They're 10. Yeah. So you got shard, chip, um, rock, and then pound.
I hand the boy a couple of shards, thank him for his help, and I begin my journey
Cool.
to
All right.
bring the letter to Lieutenant Briggs.
Cool. So it's getting to about noon now. Chiron's reaching its zenith. Uh, as you're moving along the road, the forest kind of fades away. It's mostly just on the other side of the town, actually. Um, and then it gets pretty hilly. Um, you're going to be going around the Chiron side of the mountain range on the island. Um, so the beach is pretty much running like through hills. The path is running like through hills, um, near the beach, almost because it's pretty steep, not too far from land. Um, it takes you the better part of the day to get there, but you do arrive before nightfall. Um, as you come up to the city, you remember this is where you originally came to the island from, this city.
Mhm.
So you'll remember it. It's a port
Yeah,
town. It's old. Roll a history check, actually. It's your intelligence.
it is 11.
Okay. Um, so all right. So as you enter, or as you come up to it, really, you see some low stone buildings. That's pretty much um, the status quo for it is, except on the outskirts, more there's more wooden buildings. The further from the center of town you get, as it's been expanded over the years.
Mm.
Um, the stone buildings, though, definitely take up most of the area. They're all low, like single story, um, very fine work. You know that the city itself is very old, um, and the buildings don't look any worse for wear. It was impeccable craftsmanship. So you approach the gate, um, and there are two guards there that just stop you, and ask what your business is in the city.
I look at my guard on the left and tell him that I'm looking for Lieutenant Briggs. I have an
Biggs,
urgent mess Biggs that I have to deliver to him.
right? He says, from where?
I
This,
explain
the village is Coconut Hollow. So you can, if you want to extrapolate on that, you can, but I was just reminding you the name of the village.
I tell him about the situation that happened in Coconut Hollow and how that there was an undead creature found outside of the walls. I
So
don't elaborate on the fact that it was only seen by me.
do you have the letter out, or
I'm just showing them like that there is a letter. I haven't opened it or given it to them.
okay, but so you'd show them the seal on it then.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so they recognize it and allow you through and give you directions to the barracks where you'd be able to find Lieutenant Biggs.
Okay.
Um,
I,
and then they also, noticing that the mount that you're on is issued from the village. They tell you where the military stables are so that you can return it. And it's actually just right around the corner from the gate. Um, so that will be your first stop, unless you're a thief.
uh, I bring my mount around the corner to the stables and watches and dismount. Then I watch as the help bring it into the stable and feed it. I give a couple of shards to that person so that they can treat my former ride well. I walk through the facility looking for Lieutenant Biggs, as I notice that there are a lot of soldiers mulling around, not really doing anything, just talking. I go up to one of them and ask where I would be able to find him.
He he looks up. He's actually, as you approach, you realize that him and another soldier are playing a game of dice at the moment. Um, and he kind of just looks up at you. Says he's at the barracks. Go there, and he points and goes back to his game.
Somewhat annoyed, I thank him and then turn around,
Yeah.
slightly kicking the table as I walk away. I finally get to the barracks and then look around for the highest ranking officer. Upon finding that person, due to looking at the ranks that they have, the emblems on their chest, I ask if it's Lieutenant Biggs.
Okay. He looks at you and says, "Yeah, yes, I'm Biggs. What is your? What do you need?"
I look at Biggs and I whip out the letter that I was given. I show him the sale and ask him to open it. It's of the utmost importance that we get reinforcements to Coconut Hollow.
He he takes the letter, opens it and reads it, rolls it back up and puts it in his pocket, and he says, "Thank you very much, son, for bringing this to me. Here, come with me for a moment." Um, and he's as he starts walking away, he holds up his hand for you to wait a minute. Goes over to another um, person in the barracks and whispers something to him, and the man goes running off um, out of the barracks, and he says, "Come on."
I watch as the man runs away, but follow Lieutenant Biggs.
So,
Where are we going?
oh, we're going to get your payment for delivering this. Unless you don't want it, we could always use the extra obsidian.
I look at him and say, that's nice, but what are we doing to remedy the situation?
I've already started taking care of it. That man went out to order troops to go out. Um, I appreciate your help.
I thank Lieutenant Biggs and continue to follow him to where he's taking me.
So he just takes you to a side office. There's not even a door to it. It's just around a corner and a wall built up to separate it from the main room of the barracks.
Mhm.
He he um, goes into and talks to a clerk sitting at the desk there, um, and says that this boy just brought news from Coconut Hollow. We'll give him a rock of obsidian for his trouble. So the man looks down, um, turns around, goes behind him into the safe, and pulls out a rock and hands it to you.
I thank him as I take the rock and put it in my bag. I turn to leave, but then turn around and look back at Lieutenant Biggs. I know this is a long shot because I had already asked in Coconut Hollow, but do you know anything more about this? I take out the vial with the rose etched in the stopper and show it to him.
He looks it over, says, "No, I've never seen this before. Um, Is it customary for your people to carry around vials of blood?
I take back the vial and place it back in my bag. No, it's just something I found. I don't know what it is, but I feel its purpose is bigger than just being a small trinket. Thank you for your help, Lieutenant Biggs. I can see
Yes,
myself out.
thank you. So it's pretty much nighttime. The sun's set and current starting to rise over the horizon. It's maybe um, it's dulling now. The way that the moon cycles work is that um, it dulls down to like a sub infrared color um, over the course of 31 days and then reverts back um, to like this intense blood red um, during its pinnacle. Basically, when it's full, it's red,
Mm.
and the new moons, it's dull. You can only certain races can see it, see the light from it during that time. You being a human, you're not one of them. Um, so anyway, so it's dulling. It's that time of month where the winds are starting to die down. Um, so it's pretty calm. Still warm out from the sunlight earlier. But your best bet would be to try to get some rest for the night, unless you want to head back to Coconut Hollow. That would take you. I mean, you you're better off sleeping in the city than heading back.
Yeah, that night. I walk around the city for a little bit and find an inn. I walk inside and go to the front desk. Excuse me, I need a room for the night. Are there any available?
All right. So you walk into a single-story stone building um, with a sign out front. Um, of a wand and a shepherd's crook crossing each other. Um, so in the common room, you walk in, you see um, it's pretty busy right now. There's a lot of people around, um, a few Aquelvans, not very many. A lot of mostly humans, people drinking, game, dicing, um, just like relaxing as the workday has ended. Over in one corner, there are several hammocks hanging up. Two of them are already occupied. Um, you approach the bartender, um, and he says, "Yes, yes, sir. You may use the hammocks over there, or we have wooden cots in the back for a little bit more money if you're interested in that."
Uh, I look at the man in front of me and look over at the hammocks and back to him. No, the hammocks will be fine. I just need rest for a night. I'm not trying to stay here.
Oh, what? All right. Yes, wonderful, sir. It will be two shards, please. May I get you a drink or anything? It's still early.
I give him the 2 shards and just I would like some water, please.
Oh,
It's been a
sure,
long day.
sure, absolutely. You go, sir. And he pours you a cup, hands it to you. No charge, just water.
I thank him for the water and take a drink of it. I'm so thirsty that I just can't stop and completely finish the glass. I place it back down, nodding in appreciation, and then I walk over to my bunk, walk over to my hammock, place my gear underneath.
As you're settling in, um, a man approaches you um, and looks at, kind of stands in your sight to get your attention, is looking you over a little.
I look at this man. I don't know what his purpose is, but he obviously wants to be seen.
So he says,
I,
"Oh, go ahead."
oh no, I was just gonna say, I wave him over.
He so he comes over and said, points at your hammer and says, "That's quite a weapon you have there, sir. I imagine it does the job."
I look at him smiling. You have no idea. I just, it's been a long day today and it's got a lot of good use out of it.
Wow. So you're an accomplished fighter then. So may have, I have an offer for you actually. If you're interested in work, I could use somebody with your apparent abilities.
I look warily at the bunk and then back up to him. What kind of work do you need done?
Um, well, I work for an organization that collects relics of ancient civilizations. We but we've currently been having trouble with the uh, the lesser races. They seem to be gathering um, into small bands and just causing trouble. Um, but they've made it quite hard for us to do our work where we're not the most accomplished warriors there are. So we're looking for protection. And more than that, we're looking for um, a hand, someone to a part of the organization to work in keeping them away from us, not just as protection, but as an offensive.
I'm all over the idea, and what kind of artifacts are you trying to find?
Well, we've recently come into contact with some very strange things. They, I don't know how to explain them. There's some of them have cranks on them where you'll turn them and then things inside of it start moving together and different effects happen. A lot of them seem like nonsense, but it's it's a technology that we're not accustomed to. Um, we think it's from an ancient civilization that lived here long before even the dwarves did, before they went extinct.
So you're playing with toys that you don't understand?
Well, some of them have proven a bit more interesting. There's one that has this strange writing on it that looks almost woven, but not quite. And when it's wound up, it these these arms, is all I can call it, move in a circular motion around the face of it. Um, and it lasts for a while once it's wound up, but we're not sure. It seems to run around the same time, in time with the cycles of the sun and moon of Chiron and Current. And it's quite extraordinary, really. It's not magical. We've brought it to the schools. None of this stuff is magical. Um, and we've been able to find information leading us to more of it, but it's becoming unsafe to do so.
Do you mind if I think your offer over while I rest?
Oh,
If I
not
can
at
sleep
all.
on it, then
Not at all. My name is Egnud. I will come back tomorrow afternoon, if you're interested.
Okay. Thank you. Find me tomorrow. I'll stay here until I see you.
All right, great. Have a great night.
Thank you, too.
All right. John, I'm going to call the session here. There was a little bit more I wanted to do, but I think we can work out the rest of it later, like once the group session starts. If you,
Mm.
so yeah. So if anyone wants to know what else is going to happen, watch the end of excommunication video, and it would be, you'll get a similar explanation of what's going on from that video. Thanks for watching. Have a great one. Bye.